This is a massive blog thing. I'm gonna try and ramble on through this one. A very funny picture here where you've got, oh my gosh, demonic gorillas coming from Tithe Farm now. Yeah, this is big. I am going to try and skim through the ones that I think are less important, and kind of, show you some thoughts, how to feel about it, how I feel about it, opinions, all that good stuff. Yeah, we'll start right at the top here. Point-based combat achievements. This is exciting and also easy-scape. However, I'm leaning more towards exciting. Basically, right now, you can do combat tasks, and it gives you rewards if you complete the tier of the combat task that you've completed. Thingamajiggly, you know how it works. Yeah, jiggly thing. Easy, medium, hard, elite, master, grandmaster. If you have a grandmaster done, you are the Chad Thundercock of RuneScape. You are the coolest, most sweatiest gamer of all time. But anything other than that, like, it's just kind of like, yeah, that's, you're a good player, or like, congrats, you spent time doing it. There's some master tasks that are quite difficult as well. Don't discount that. What they're going to do is they're polling each task. If you do an easy task, you get 1 point. If you do a master task, you get 5. If you do a grandmaster, you get 6. What this means is you'll be able to get elites done. If you'll reach the 820 point threshold, you'll reach that before you've actually done all the elite tasks. It'll be pretty easy for people to, if you're currently a hard level, you'll probably have elites done. Because master and grandmaster, there's some very easy tasks in those, and it'll just kind of spoon you that one up. Same thing if you're elite currently, you'll probably end up being master. It won't take you from master to grandmaster because you'll still need to do everything to complete grandmaster. That's basically it. I'm going to skip through it. I'll be voting yes, just because I think it's like whatever. If people want to have a master done before they're actually a master, then sure. Moving on, Tithe Farm, they're going to, all of this is pulled, they're going to instance it. You'll get more points for doing it. You can take as many seeds as you want in. Previously, you're only allowed 100 seeds. You don't have to leave anymore. You'll get 35 points instead of 25 for turning in 100 plants. It's fine. It's good stuff. Should be made into an instant solo content? Yes, it should. Definitely. I'm just going to read through these poll questions. Should we adjust the gameplay to function as outlined? Blah, blah, blah. Points more frequently and more points? Yes. Should we double the amount of Balogus blessings? Yeah, they changed a couple of the rewards, or like they're proposing to change a couple of them. Big one would be adding herb boxes, like you get them from Nightmare Zone. And then for Iron Men only, they're pulling this to Iron Men only. Should herb boxes be given through it? So this actually immediately is like, wow, that's overpowered for Iron Manscape. It kind of makes sense though. If you're going to a farming minigame and you spend an hour farming, it'd be kind of nice to be able to get like a handful of herbs or herbs from it. Again, if it was the same as Nightmare Zone, you're getting like 10 ranners a day. That's nothing. I think it's fine. Tithe sucks anyways, and you can basically just skip it on the way to 99. So this is for the people who are interested in doing it. This is not game breaking. It's not catering to Iron Man too hard. I think it's fine. It might even fail, to be honest. Sleepy Tablet from Fosani. It is a 1 in 100 from Fosani's Nightmare. 100 Fosani's kills takes like 40 hours. You can do about 6 per hour if you're good, 7 if you're extremely good. Otherwise, when you're learning, you're dying a lot, and you're running back a lot. Honestly, I would be happy if they made it so it's a 1 in 10 flat. Like, just change it to being a 1 in 10. They're now saying, should it be guaranteed at 100? I still think you should just, like, give it to people. If you want, you could have it so you can trade in Nightmare unique, like a Nightmare staff, to get it instantly, and that sinks a couple of Nightmare items, because people will do that. People will genuinely trade in a nightmare staff. Like, what are they, 15, 20 mil? I don't know. Maybe they're more than that. Another option would just, make it 1 in 10. Make it so you can buy it for 5 mil GP. Whatever the case is. It's, they got to do something with Fosani because it's currently garbanzo beans. It's not, it's bad money, and it takes way too long to get uniques as an Iron Man. Demonic Gorillas, they're going to put a visual indicator when a demonic gorilla changes its attack style. Previously, you used to be able to use RuneLight plugin to show you when it changed attack styles. They removed that, and now they're going to add it back into the actual game. I think that's totally fine. You've got that with Hunlif already. Hunlif, speaking of which, They've got it, the visual cue. They're going to pull adding an audio cue. If you play with game sounds on, you'll be able to hear it. It's probably going to say hula hula when it changes, and then you'll know. Blue Dragon Scales. These are hard to get. You know, if you're a main, you take that for granted because it's bots that are picking them up off the ground entirely. Baby Blue Dragons, 50% chance to drop 1 adult, drop 2 noted Blue Dragon Scales. It's kind of weird that they would be noted, just lore-wise. I would rather they add like a dragon scale bag that you just fill up or something like that. And then Bloodle Blue Blagons drop 3 and Vorkath will drop 5. Cool. They're going to pull it. There you go. Revenant Slayer Task Extension. I don't even need to read this. Yes, this will pass a poll. You can pay to extend it to 100 to 150. Currently, you can get, I think it's 50 to 100. Trouver Parchments. Trouve, that word, trouve, is a French word for find. And you know the guy that you use Trouver Parchments on? His name's Perdu, also known as Perdu, which is French for lost. It's lost and found of the wilderness. Boom, knowledged. Okay, should we double the number of Trouver Parchments received as a drop in the Wilderness Slayer case? Are they making it so it drops 2 at a time? Or are they changing the drop rate to double? I don't know, I didn't read it. You guys can read it. I'm fine with that, that's cool. Swamp Bark and Blood Bark Armor, they're buffing it. Again, no one uses it, so whatever. Better suit the requirements. Offensive capabilities go up. Cool. Permanent Volcanic Mine access. 3,000 numulates to do that. It's fine. Looting Bag. Should we add looting bags to Slayer shops to be purchased for 10 Slayer points? I don't see an issue with that in the slightest. Currently, you can get one from LMS for, I think, 1 point. I can't remember. Spice Rack. This is for UIM only. Should UIMs be able to use the Spice Rack inside their player-owned house? Yes. That's a garbage game mode, and we should help them at all costs. Stash units, UIM only. Should they be able to store an Abyssal Tentacle in a stash unit? Sure. Again, I don't play UIM, so I really can't answer any of these, but should UIM be able to store the Guardian Boots? Sure. Should UIM be able to store the Primordial Boots? Sure. I don't know. Does that... Like, do Ultimate Iron Man actually care? If you play a UIM, let me know what you think, because, like, I don't know. Selfcasting Teleport item. This is low-key the biggest update to, like, RuneScape in general. Like, I can't believe that this is flying under the radar. They're talking about having an escape crystal, a teleport, where you teleport out when you disconnect from the game. This is insane. Like, how is not... Like, I was kind of, like, waiting to get to this part. This is crazy. Like, okay, a new item or an upgrade to the Escape Crystal or Ring of Life that teleports to players after X seconds of not interacting with the client. This teleport would trigger when simply AFK for long enough, or in such cases as disconnect, or in cases such as disconnects. You can customize exactly how long X seconds is, and may wish to change it on the fly for different pieces of content. This item could be in the inventory or equipable. I think it should be like an inventory thing. You bring it along when you go to difficult content. I don't know how this will work. Apparently, I heard, this is an apparent situation, this is a rumor, okay? Wooks on stream said that yes, he would be able to easily code, and I think he did code this item. This was like 2 years ago. He's like, yeah, you could just have it so Ring of Life teleports as someone out as soon as their client stops receiving packets, or input basically is what it is. So the server sees the player, and as soon as the server loses connection to the player, aka the player is DC'd, it teleports them instantly. And that's what he proposed and said he could code, and this is finally potentially happening. Here's the funny part, they're polling it. Why the fuck would they poll this? I'm sorry. Pardon my French. Yeah, they don't need to poll this. Just put it in the game and let people choose if they want to use it. It'll be hilarious. You'll see people teleporting out of their redwoods when they AFK for 7 minutes. Yeah, massive changes for hardcore Iron Man. If anyone is ever, like, if your excuse is you don't want to play a hardcore because you're scared of DCing, maybe this makes you play it. Maybe this actually brings some more into there. Okay, the spookiest thing of all time that you can see is unpulled changes. This is very spooky. Here's one, Abyssal Lantern. They're going to add the Abyssal Lantern to the shop for 1,500 Abyssal Pearls. That is absolutely insane. The Abyssal Lantern is like essentially required to be efficient at Guardians of the Rift. It's so good. Basically makes everything 10% faster, or like you get more points, you get more runes, all that stuff. And it's incredibly rare. So now they're going to make it so if you get super unlucky and don't get it on rate, you can buy it for the pearls that you've gotten. I think they should just lower the drop rate and also put it in the shop for less than this. Like, put it in for like 200 pearls. Like, come on. Bad luck protection. We're in a weird spot in RuneScape. They're polling and they're talking about bad luck protection. Look, the game is supposed to be fun, and the game is not fun if you can go incredibly dry on something. I do think that people, as a whole, would agree that you don't, like, it's not, like, it's fun. It's like, okay, finally I got the drop. But there's a certain point where it's no longer like, oh, finally I got the drop. Where it's just like, I hate this game and I want to quit. Like, 4 times the drop rate for Dragon Warhammer, 5 times, 6 times the drop rate. Like, at what point should they just say, I'm sorry, you've gone this dry, like, here you go. Like, it's just crazy. I don't know. Coming from me, I've had a handful of 8x drop rates, and I was lucky enough that those 8x drop rates were on smaller items, such as a Crystal Armor Seed, as opposed to a big item like a Twisted Bow. Can you imagine doing 8,000 solo raids to get your first Twisted Bow on an Iron Man? Like, it's just nuts. That's just crazy. Laren's keys, they're going to make them tradable. There you go. Currently, you can kill a player and they drop them, so this just saves the steps. Nex, cough, same. A word that strikes fear, yeah, Nex is terrifying. Fix the content. Basically, if you are wearing a Slayer helmet, you cannot get the cough spread to you from other players. That's going to be the unpulled change. Very cool. Zealot robes, nobody even knows or cares what these are. Basically what they do is they provide a 1.25 chance to prevent bones or ensouled heads from being consumed. They're going to add it to the Ectofuntus. Not Functus. Ectofuntus. Future changes. Skilling pets. So how skilling pets currently work is if you get 200 mil thieving, you can get Rocky, the thieving pet, at a rate of 15 times more common. They just, again, it's always been in the game where it's bad luck protection. They're going to add that or pull it to go to the Phoenix, because the Phoenix is technically not the fire-making pet, it's the Wintertodt boss pet. So, I don't know. They're saying, does this set a precedent? Is the Phoenix a fire-making pet, or is it a Wintertodt pet? Now they're talking about, could the gnome delivery reward a pet that feels like a cooking pet? No, like, come on, what are you even talking about here? This only applies to this one situation. Move on. Stop talking about random stuff. Splash weapons. This one is, I'm going to spend 3 seconds on this. Level 3 skillers want it so that there's items that guarantee you hit a 0 so you can never get combat XP. So they're talking about doing that. That's all this says is like, yeah, we'll consider it. Blood, Death, and Soul Runes. Big for Iron Men here. Rough napkin math. You can craft about 10,000 blood runes an hour, and that equates to about 3 hours of using a scythe or 2.3 hours of using a saying staff. There's now an issue with the Tumikin's Shadow because that uses a ton of soul runes. So basically just jumping down here, should they add blood and soul rune packs to shops for high cost? They'd also add death rune packs, even though there doesn't seem to be an issue with that, but they'd be the only one not with a pack, so it'd be weird. Should they improve various skilling methods, or should they reduce the rate at which weapons use charges? And the biggest one here that I thought was very interesting, should there be a permanent method to make something, not take charges, like the corrupt Bofa? Can you imagine a corrupted Scythe of Vitter? Maybe it looks different, like the corrupted Bofa looks different, whereas this could look different. What would it cost? Like 100k blood runes is literally a couple of weeks of using the scythe. This would be game changing if they, it would have to be set to something like 500,000 blood runes, and then you could just have it permanently. I don't know, it's crazy. Here's my thought, they didn't mention this. What about a cool little piece of content, maybe a new quest? Kingdom of Miscellanea, but for runes. So you can manage your kingdom, and it's just, you've hired a bunch of NPC rune crafters to collect runes for you passively, and that will help you. So instead of paying 100 mil on blood runes and you get them all at once. You could pay 100 mil on blood runes and they just passively get them for you and you can go collect them daily, kind of like Kingdom. Thought it was maybe an interesting idea. Honestly, if they did that, they would still need to add something else, like one of these options. I think blood rune packs, like, just do it. The game shouldn't revolve around shops and hopping worlds. You know, if anything, just let us stay in the same world and just buy as many as we want. But then again, it's just like, at what point are you not an Iron Man anymore? It's weird. If you've got a strong opinion on this, get in touch with us on the usual channels and share them with the world. So basically what that says is drop a comment on this Flomple YouTube video here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and subscribe, and like. And comment. And subscribe. Gizmo Goblin. I don't know. I'm just reading stuff now. Thanks for enjoying this little part with me. This little video, this little nugget on the interweb. I think there's a lot of positive stuff coming out here. There's nothing better than a nice little quality of life poll. I wish they did these like monthly, where they just like, and a lot of these they don't need to poll. Like, it's either guaranteed to pass or just, why are you even polling it? Just make our lives easier. The game revolves around us enjoying it. Make it more enjoyable. Anyways, positive, big plus from the big Flomp here. Have a great day today and tomorrow. The day after that, that's up to you. Honestly, you can choose whatever you want to do. But today and tomorrow, you have to do it. Imagine I just end the video mid-sentence. Like, that would be so weird.